Hello and welcome to another episode of Scott Reads Comics. This time we've got Marvel 2-in-1 number 43, The Thing and Man-Thing. This is a follow-up from our previous episode, the continuation of that story. This one was published in 1978, same as number 42. And we have on our cover an amazing cover by John Byrne, inked by Walt Simonson. Ben Grimm, helpless, the muck monster at bay, and Captain America, victim of Victorious and the Cosmic Cube, death in the Everglades. So we have Byrne's signature here and Walt Simonson's signature hidden right there among the rubble. Very cool. Let's get right into it, folks. The day the world winds down, Stan Lee presents The Thing and Man-Thing. Our creative crew, Ralph Macchio, writer, John Byrne and friends, artists, Bruce Patterson, letterer, Phil Rachelson, colorist, Roger Stern, editor, Jim Shooter, editor-in-chief. Normally, the Everglades is a sluggish symphony of croaking frogs and sloshing gators. But today, its ageless tranquility is sharply punctuated by an insane oratory. You are too late, my friends. Victorious now holds the cosmic cube. From this day forward, entropy shall be all. And the Thing replies, "Says you, Baldy. You stole that cube from Project Pegasus, and we aim to get it back any way we can." So this cool splash page just shows the Thing and Cap confronting this group of cultists with their leader, Victorious, who we met last issue, and the recently recreated Entropic Man. Very sinister looking creature behind him. Now shut up and fork over the cube fast. Otherwise, I might remember that you're responsible for putting Wundar in the hospital. Quiet, Ben. His ranting's for our benefit. He's leading up to a story his kind always does. Indeed, Captain, I compliment you on your prescience. Years ago, I was a humble researcher, toiling to recreate the super soldier serum that made you Captain America. My superiors insisted that I stop, saying the project was dead. I thought not, and for decades continued my labors for the renegade arm of Hydra, AIM, Advanced Idea Mechanics, until finally they bore fruit. And this all happened in Astonishing Tales number 18. But at the instant of my success, a meddling SHIELD agent burst in, bent on destroying the formula. The lab suddenly erupted in a massive explosion, but not before I drank the fateful elixir. When next I arose, I had been reborn. The vibrant energy of the super soldier serum now coursed through my veins. Victor Conrad was dead, and in his place stood Victorious. So then he goes on to take on Kazar in this fancy costume, ends up losing. When I emerged from AIM's castle moat, my future loomed dark and empty. For months I wandered about, searching for a purpose to my life. Then I chanced upon the literature of the cult of Entropists. I was struck by the rightness of their teachings, that the way of the universe is ever towards atrophy and decay. Seeking them out, I regrouped the cult. And this note says that they were left leaderless in Man-Thing number 1. With the promise of bringing about their goal of universal decay. And when I learned of the government's possession of the Cosmic Cube, I knew I'd found the tool I needed. Seizing the cube, I began to reform the remains of Yogg-Saron, the cult's former leader. And he recreates him into the Entropic Man, as seen here in this brilliant series of panels by Byrne and the art crew, as the Entropic Man rises from the dust into this sinister figure, cloaked with a craggy face. I sensed a great destiny for us as we set out to start our new world. Then, as if by design, we encountered 2 lovers. They would be our first converts. So here in this very sinister sequence of panels, the Entropic Man ensorcels this unsuspecting couple and then basically absorbs them, turning them into dust. Thing is not happy. You're a real sicko, Buster. All them highfalutin words boil down to is that you're a murderer, but you ain't getting away with it. Bestial buffoon, Victorious says as Thing lunges at him. Ben! Kaboom! Victorious finds that there is some power in the cosmic cube still as he blasts Cap into Thing with it. If this man's dead, Victorious, you'll pay for it. I swear you'll pay. I have the cube, Captain. That's right. And without it, you're nothing but a gutless old man, a second-rate carbon copy of me. Or would you care to dispute that without the cube? I had hoped to avoid physical conflict, but this opportunity is so intriguing. So we see underneath Victorious, his red robe, he has his old battle garb on. In that case, I think it's time for a little lesson in unarmed combat techniques. Never take your eyes off your opponent. Whack! Victorious moves in and strikes Cap. Excellent idea, Captain. Let's begin with rule 1. Never take your eyes off your opponent. So yeah, we'll read it like that. Thanks for the advice, but don't forget that other basic. Any situation may be turned into an advantage, like so. Cap comes back with a mule kick, and the two are engaged in combat with the other cultists looking on. As the battle continues, a living fragment of the swamp slowly shambles closer, drawn by the released emotions like a moth to flame. Once, this misshapen mockery of life was Dr. Ted Sallis, but that was before the mystic forces of the swamp combined with Sallis's own attempted super soldier serum and turned him into the mindless grotesquerie called the Man-Thing. So wow, we have 3 would-be super soldiers in the same scene here as Man-Thing shows up. And while remarking quickly on the art, it's not the best John Byrne because I think we have an ad hoc inking committee here, but it's still very solid stuff. It's got all the Byrne marks, all the Byrne figure work. It's just not quite as tight as we might see if, say, he was being inked by Terry Austin or Dan Green on Avengers or something like that. Pablo Marcos also on Avengers. Back to our story. In the last few years, I've had occasion to doubt my purpose, but when I see how you've perverted the very principle behind the super soldier, then I thank God I've chosen to wear this uniform and put an end to fanatics like you. You would say that to me. There is no human alive I wish to emulate more than yourself. For years, you were my model of physical perfection, my idol, my obsession. Bull, your hang-up's power, pure and simple. And we see the entropic man here in the background watching the fight. Perhaps, still, at least I don't pontificate about fanaticism while wrapped in a flag. Captain, you're hardly my philosophical mentor. My world view now encompasses far more than petty nationalism, as you will learn. He says all that while giving Cap an amazing double-fisted blow that knocks him back. But what of the Man-Thing? The clash of ideologies goes on as the silent Man-Thing shambles closer to the floating cube which has so caught his attention. Is it instinct or curiosity that drives his mottled arm clumsily upward? Or is it something greater, some transcendent urge that fills his very being with a sense of desire never before known? Meanwhile, Cap and Victorious continue their battle here, but the entropic man finally speaks. I grow weary of my brothers. This struggle advances our holy cause not an inch. Rightly spoken, Brother Jude. That is the name they've given to the entropic man. Oh, my aching head. That blasted cube sure packs some kind of wallop. Oh no, I gotta be dreaming. Thing wakes up here in this panel in the muck to see Man-Thing, whom he has met before, reaching for the cube. There ain't no way I'm gonna believe this scene is for real. No way. Real or imagined, Man-Thing's mud-caked fingers finally closed about the cube, his blank demeanor betraying no hint of triumph at the acquisition. But who can say if those glassy orbs sparkle merely with reflected light or glisten from deep within? Great shot here of the galaxy viewed in the Man-Thing's eyes as he gazes into the cube. Victorious, let me end this futile affair that we may proceed as intended. Yes, by all means end his meaningless life. Our battle has solved nothing. And here, he uses his powers to ensorcel even Captain America, breaking his iron will. Enter now the unmanifest all that is my very essence. Great shot here of Cap walking into his doom as the entropic man raises his arms like some specter. Hold it, Cap. Don't listen to that joker. No use. He's being hypnotized or something. I gotta act fast. Come here, Winghead. You ain't going nowhere. So the thing grabs Cap and literally hurls him to safety. You have not saved him, merely preceded him in the embrace of entropy. Hey! And he envelops the thing. And we'll see what happens with that in a sec. But quickly, great Marvel House ad for Captain America series, taken over by Roger McKenzie and Sal Buscema. Very cool. See, the man beneath the mask, Steve Rogers, live again. See, Cap in action against the wildest foes ever. See, why Captain America is still one of Marvel's top superstars. On sale now at your All-American newsstand. Great Sal House ad. Your rock-like exterior shall crumble into the everlasting, eh? Something has interrupted your flow to perfection. You have become human? What the hey? I'm Ben Grimm again. Why has this happened? I do not understand. If he grabs me again, I've had it. No way I can fight this bozo. Gotta buy time for Cap to come too. Maybe. Listen, Jude. I know life ain't a picnic, but it's still the best game in town. You can't just go around handing out paradise, whatever you think it is. It's still gotta be earned. You wound me. I did but desire your happiness. And Victorious watches on and thinks, the fool. I can't allow him to sway Jude with that nonsense. We'll have no more of your puerile rantings. A new age has dawned. And here he takes Ben Grimm out with a punch to the back of the head. And then a follow-up to the jaw. Our movement will encompass the stars, Grimm, and take you and your world with it. Meanwhile, from the safety of a tree where the thing hurled him, Cap adds, Victorious, as long as there are free men still alive, your movement is doomed. I've been wrong about a lot of things in my time, but if there's one thing I can truly believe, it's that the spirit of man, the spirit of life, will never wind down. So Cap leaps back into action, knocking Victorious back. And the entropic man says, perhaps I've been wrong, perhaps not. Jude sounds hesitant. I must ensure his loyalty, by force if necessary. I must reclaim the cube. Give me that cube, monster. It can do no good to one such as you. Release it at once. It's mine by divine right. Great shot here by Byrne and the art crew of Victorious struggling to get the cube from Man-Thing's hands. Awesome close-up here. Damn you. Give me the cosmic cube. I have a destiny to fulfill. What? What manner of creature are you? And the entropic man says, Victorious. Life yet prevails in this realm. I sense that my coming was ill-timed. Men must seek me of their own volition. When they finally understand entropy as you do, then they shall feel my embrace. Come now, truth awaits you. No, not yet. Stay away from me. As the icy touch of entropy falls upon Victorious, he is gripped by a paralyzing fear. Fear, the emotion most loathed by the Man-Thing. And whosoever knows fear burns at the Man-Thing's touch. Deep within the cosmic cube, untold forces swirl and clash, blasting forth with the unleashed energies of entropy and emotion. Very cool work here by our colorist, working overtime, and I need to remind myself of his name because I don't see him a lot. Phil Rachelson. Very good job here on these two panels, showing the energies, the cosmic and other energies at play in this scene. A full hour passes before the red, white, and blue figure lifts himself from the mire. Brother, whoever said the life of a hero was all glory? Not me, pal, the thing says. Who? Ben, is that you? Why, you become the thing again. Yeah, the explosion must have done it. It's just as well. Oh, great bullpen Boltons with the debut of Paladin. That was very cool cover for Daredevil. I'm used to this kisser by now. Hey, what's with the screwy plants? You don't suppose. Look, Ben, Victorious and Jude, they've been transformed into some sort of radiant crystal. and their radiations seem to be stimulating the plant growth. Incredible. The seekers of entropy are now generators of life. I don't suppose there's anything we can do for them unless the cube. Nah, it's not even glowing now. All you got there is a cosmic paperweight. Well, I'm sure the brain boys at Project Pegasus will still want to give it the once-over. What do you say we get out of this muck and go home? Now you're talking. Me? I'm ready for a steak and a cup of java. Ah, Benjamin, you're a man after my own heart. Before we finish, I just want to add, what happened to the cultists? I guess they must have fled during the fracas because they're no longer around for the thing in Cap the Corral, so I guess they got away. Behind them, the swamp begins to bubble and roil. And within minutes, the stage of the Everglades is host to yet another drama, this one played to an empty house. Forgotten by the two heroes, the macabre man-thing oozes up out of the mire. He arises like some bizarre animated mud sculpture. Drawn by a kind of primal curiosity, he turns toward the strangely glowing object. The claw-like hand reaches out through the unearthly light, and with every inch gained it becomes more and more human, even as the eerie rays strike the rest of his muck-encrusted bulk, slowly changing it. For a moment, the creature stares at his hand as if trying to remember. As if he had a mind, perhaps he would stay here until he was once more human. But the mindless man-thing, without even a backward glance, moves on, his form reverting with each step. And the eternal swamp, as always, reclaims its own. Next, Hercules, Prince of Power. So no letters page in this one, but a truly awesome issue of Marvel 2-in-1, laying the groundwork for my coverage in later episodes of the Project Pegasus saga, which I plan to do. This has been Marvel 2-in-1, number 43, The Thing and Man-Thing. If you like the video, please like and subscribe and tell your friends, and I'll bring you more soon on Scott Reads Comics. Thanks for watching.